There we go.
Hey, we're recording. Hello, Izzie.
Hi, Anna.
How are you?
I'm good. I've been finding as much as I can do. What about you?
Just about same. I've just kind of been trying to find like different creative outlets because we haven't been able to do conservatory classes as much.
Exactly.
So I've been making do with what we have. Okay, so let's get to know Izzie. Okay. How many years have you been at OCSA, Izzie?
I started in 8th grade, so this, I guess, is my 5th year. Yeah, 5th year.
Yeah. So you came 1 year before me.
Yeah.
Um, okay, and you have always been in the acting conservatory, correct?
Yes.
Okay, what is your favorite memory from all of those years?
Oh, goodness. I really enjoyed seeing so many people come in high school that were new. Like, every single year there's new people to meet, which I loved, and I was so grateful. Like, this year with Priscilla and Jed, and so many people freshman year and 10th grade and even 11th. Um, but definitely Wolves. That was an experience I will never forget. And even though I'm not pursuing acting after high school, that I have no words. And I think that we created something together, and the whole cast really important, and something that'll hopefully drive a lot of the future performances at OSHA, not only all female, but just an important narrative that's pushing boundaries that we haven't done before. So.
Yes, I agree. I loved being in that show. And I do think that it was like a landmark in not only like I feel grateful that it had such an impact on people that are outside of the cast, because of course it was great for us, but like I felt very very grateful that it was like something important.
And I love the talk back after every show too, and just getting to hear everyone's perspectives and people I hadn't even seen before, and like grandparents that I was
Yeah.
like they loved it.
Okay, another question for you.
Okay.
Through your years at OSHA, right? Because that's what we're talking about. What were some obstacles that you had to overcome, and how did you overcome them?
Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, going into freshman year, if you knew me, I had double jaw surgery about a week before my freshman year of high school started. So my mouth was wired shut for 6 weeks, and I couldn't eat for 8. So obviously, being an actress, that's kind of scary because it's a little hard to talk. Definitely trying to like readjust to that new life. And I remember it was scary because they're like, if you go up the tower and you fall, your jaw will shatter. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Oh my gosh.
But definitely going into freshman year, because obviously that's a big time. And even the transition at OSHA, even though I was already at OSHA, and I'm very grateful I already was at OSHA when that transition happened, but transitioning into longer days and learning about more things that I want to learn about, because freshman year you get to like kind of start picking your classes, and so kind of diving into a world with harder academics and more conservatory was really scary. And so that year I don't think I auditioned for any shows, so that was kind of a bummer too, because obviously like I want to keep acting a part of my life, so it's hard freshman year to kind of not be able to do that.
I mean, I guess it's only an hour and a half more, but like, what was that like going from a shorter day to just a longer day? I'm just curious.
It was weird because first of all, I went to 3 middle schools in 3 years, which is crazy, and most people don't do that. I started 6th grade in Missouri, and then I did 7th grade in Huntington Beach. And so in 7th grade, I then auditioned for OSHA, and I auditioned for instrumental music, musical theater, and acting. I auditioned with saxophone, so that's completely different from what I ended up with.
I didn't know you played saxophone.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And so 8th grade was like, it was nice because I got to know everybody, and I don't know, I remember that year just, we did a little bit of scene work. I remember we did our audition monologues, most of us, because we didn't know how to find monologues yet.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember coming in 9th grade and just being like first day of school, or first day of conservatory, just being like intimidated, just because I assumed, well, obviously you guys have had like already 2 years or 1 year of experience under your belt in the conservatory, but I just remember being so like not prepared, and I was so overwhelmed with like monologues, and I don't know why, but that was just like, I was like, at the end of the year, I remember Miss Riley in our class asked us to do a monologue, not a competition, but like a friendly competition about like go up and do a monologue, and then if you like, as it's about the number of monologues that you have. So as long as you can keep doing monologues, you're fine. And I was like, I should have. That's when I was like, I need to have monologues, and that is actually something that was probably good for me to like jump me into it.
Oh, definitely, because you never know, especially with all the people pursuing acting in college. I know they had to have so many under their belt for all the auditions. So
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of that, you are not studying acting next year, and of course I need to ask about it. So you are, well, okay, I'll let you talk about it. Where are you going next year? What are you doing?
okay, so next year I'll be attending Chapman University, which I'm super excited about. I will be on a pre-med track, and I'm currently majoring in psychology, but I think I want to pick up a double major in health sciences just because it'll be easier to get like pre-med prerequisites out of the way with that. And then I'll go to med school wherever I go. And then I hope at the end of the road to become a trauma surgeon. That's like my absolute dream. And so it was a hard decision to come to because I want to keep acting in my life as much as I can, but it's obviously, I don't know how I could be an actor and be a surgeon, but I knew that either path I could help people. I'm hoping to still be, especially with Chapman, since the film school's so involved, I'm hoping to still be able to do some stuff in undergrad if I can, but
Yeah, absolutely. There's always a way. There's always a way.
now what are you doing?
Oh my. Okay. So next year I'm calling it a gap year, a glorified gap year. And I'm gonna preface this by saying I didn't apply to colleges, so this isn't like what I have to do.
Okay.
It's just what I wanted to do, genuinely. And I am taking a year to stay in California and stay close to LA and audition as much as possible, work with my agency, take acting classes in LA, get 3 jobs if I have to, um, and um, and see where that leads me. And I don't want to measure my success by any jobs that I get. You know, I just want to see if it feels right. And if at the end of the year it doesn't, then I will be going to, maybe I'll apply to a university, or maybe I'll go and get my cosmetology license like I had previously thought I would. But I'm giving myself a year to kind of settle into that and see what it feels like, and then make a decision at the end of the year based on how I'm feeling. Because I feel like right now there's a lot of unanswered questions for me, and so I want to answer those questions before I make a commitment to a 4-year university or something.
Definitely. And I think too in this year, like obviously we hear all the time that actors need to get used to hearing a lot of no's before you hear a yes, and I don't think your success can be measured by that by any means, because you're going to get so many opportunities to audition, and that's going to help you grow so much, whether you want to do acting in the future or not. It's going to grow you as a person, and then if you want to move on to university for whatever you want to do, I think it's a good choice.
Thank you. Yeah, it felt right to me when I made that choice. So so bless my mother, she still supported me through it all, and so it's all good. It's all good.
How long have you been acting, and then how long have you known that was kind of your thing? Like, did you know as a little kid? Because I had no idea. I was like, I want to be a babysitter. I think I want that to be my
I want to be a babysitter. I did a lot of things, and I tried my hand at a lot of things when I was little. I did softball for a really long time. I was pretty sporty, but I had done like children's musical theater at a janky little community theater for kids by me in Costa Mesa. And let me tell you, it was something else. Like the guy that was doing lighting would shout our lines to us because we were children and we forgot, but he would like shout our lines to us from the booth, and it was like maybe 10 feet away from the stage because it was a tiny theater. But so I'd done that, and so as I got older, of course I kind of stopped doing that because it was for children. And so by the time I got to middle school, I was doing gymnastics and I was engulfed in other things, and I kept getting honestly, I kept getting frustrated because I kept like, my friends had their thing and like I couldn't figure out what my thing was, and I felt very like, I can't play the guitar, I don't like softball. And so I I kept watching movies, and I kept like watching TV and even reading books. Like I was a creative person that liked storytelling, and I kept thinking about when I was doing those musicals, and I wanted to do that, but I didn't like singing and dancing. So this is how I narrowed down the game. Like, you kind of asked me this question, but when did you know you wanted to get into acting?
Uh, I was always on the stage as a kid. I haven't shared this with a lot of people, but I did Bollywood style Indian dance for 5 years when I lived in Missouri. And it was like, I got to be in like a little like kids Bollywood film for it, and I got to perform at all these amazing events and like celebrate all these holidays and like become immersed in a culture that I was like for so long interested in, because I had a lot of friends who were Indian, and so I loved it. And so right before we found out we were moving, and so in 6th grade I did like little musicals at my school, and I was always in choir, but not like show choir or anything, just singing. I liked to sing. But in 6th grade, we found out that my dad could either move here and have it drop in California at the headquarters, or that like division was going to be shut down just because they didn't have enough people working there anymore. And at that time, we also found OSHA. So it was like a week before everything was due, and I was like, maybe I should audition. And so I was going to like compile all this stuff in a week, and I just decided I should wait a year because I'd be more confident with what I was submitting to the school. But nonetheless, we moved to California, obviously. In 7th grade, I joined show choir at just my local middle school, and I do Sound of Music. I did a little show over the summer, so I think I had done, before coming to OSHA, like 3 shows maybe. And so I just knew that I kind of like singing and acting sounded interesting, and I liked Shakespeare, I thought. I like it now, but I didn't know what it was, but I was like, I think I would like that. I do, but so I auditioned. Again, my mom was like, don't expect to get in, see, because there's all these people that have been doing it for a long time, and you're pretty new to this because you've only been doing it, what, like a year and a half?
Right.
So I remember on the first day of conservatory, we were in a circle, and everyone's like, I've been acting since I was a kid, like commercials. I've been acting since I was 7. I've been acting since I was 12, which was me. And then someone was like, I've been acting since I was like 2. I was like, I was so incredibly intimidated. I was like,
yeah. It's crazy.
And just seeing all the people like pouring in, I was like, it's so exciting to be immersed with just fellow artists, to just fall into that world. So I think I always knew I wanted to be on the stage in some way or another, but I think especially once I came to OSHA, I found that like acting was the thing that I loved most. And again, with Wolves, like clarifying that, and Wolves was a hard experience too, because it made me like second guess everything. I was like, man, I really do like this acting thing. But I've known for a long time I want to do medicine, and I want to help people, and I want to think on my feet, and I want crazy things to come in, and I'm obsessed with science. And so also the thought, I think part of it subconsciously is like, I'm scared to go out in the real world. So the idea of being in school for the next like 8 years really isn't that scary. Like, it sounds fun.
Yeah.
So, but I'm excited. And I hope to keep acting in my life, whether that's like when I have kids, I'm like, you guys should act. This will be fun. Or just going to see films and stuff, because I love film, and that's something I fall in love with because of OSHA too, just like cinematography and directing and all that too.
Okay, well, because we were both in Wolves and you were just talking about Wolves, what is your favorite Wolves memory?
I loved in the beginning of the process, like just getting to know each other, because we did know each other, but we would just have these conversations, and the whole beginning of the process just felt like kind of team building almost, which I liked. And that's something I hadn't had in a show before, is just sitting down and getting to know each other. You normally just hop right into the text and stuff. So that was nice. I loved our little workouts. It was so fun. I don't think that'll ever happen with an OSHA show again. Maybe I'm mistaken, but just
I don't know, man.
As much as I hated it while it was happening, I look back on it, I was like, that was so fun. Everyone loved it.
It was like this like this like weird pocket of rehearsal where it was like we knew that we were preparing for a show, but we were also just running around in circles in the quad, and we were like, this is
everyone
something
was laughing.
It was so foreign to us, and like everyone would give us weird looks, and I'm so glad that we did it when we did. My heart goes out to all of the other productions that like are not.
You were in R&J, like, come on.
It honestly, it shaped the relationships that we had in the classroom, at least, I mean, among the girls, because like you said, we knew each other, but we came out of that show like really bonded. And so it was the start of like this really cool new dynamic in the classroom that it was really cool. It was really cool to see that change in all of us, because we loved each other before, but we like really loved each other after. Personally, I learn the best when I'm fully, like, I learn the most when I'm like in a show, or I'm working on something intensely for a certain amount of time, because I feel like once you're thrown in and you're challenged and you have to figure out this character because it's your job to, it was a whole beast with its own challenges. Yeah,
definitely. But again, I wouldn't trade that experience for anything. That's by far my favorite memory from OCSA, period, without a doubt. And and all the relationships I made too, when you share something like that, that's stuff you keep for a lifetime. And I say this kind of stuff all the time. I'm like, if I heard this, I'd be like, these people are crazy. But until you like are in this show and spend as much time on it as we did, I think that's when it like clicks in your head. Just any piece. It doesn't have to be Wolves necessarily, but you're like, wow, that's something I'll take with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I just see people that were like had nothing to do with Wolves, just like, God, they're talking about wolves again. When will they stop talking about wolves?
Because they had a whole year, and then it happened, and then they had 2 weeks of just us talking about it.
I know, and it. But you're right. Like it's something that will always like live within us, and so it's hard. Like it's hard to sit down for an interview about like actors on actors and not talk about that for us.
Exactly.
So I'm sorry, but what did you expect? What is the one thing, if you were to make like a memory box of OCSA, give me like 3 things that would be in it. Like try to make it like not abstract. Like you can't put the whole production of Wolves in there. Like you could pick the jersey or something, but
okay. I would put an OCSA cookie in there because I have so much love for that conservatory, and their food's amazing, obviously. I would put in my jersey from Wolves. And probably just the senior panoramic photo, just because that's like, again, our graduation's kind of up in the air right now, and a lot of things are, but that is the one moment we've all been together at one time. And so just having that with me. Yeah. What about you?
I'll throw in the jersey, and I will throw in, I have a hairpin from Midsummer from the wedding scene, and I stole it, and I'd put that in there. And I have a few fake cigarettes from the improv show, and I'll put those in there. And that will be my acting conservatory memory box. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, Izzie, I love talking to you.
Thank you too.
And I miss you. And I will see you very soon, because this is all going to wrap up very fast.
Yeah.
Super fast.
People stay inside.
Yes, everyone stay inside. PSA. And we miss everyone that's watching this, and we can't wait to reconnect with you.
And we wish you all luck too. Have a great senior year, and don't take it for granted, because I know some of us did.
Goodbye, OCSA Acting Conservatory.
Hi.